Welcome back to the MCU. I'm Marius, and this is my cinematic universe. And today we're taking a look at the Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber from, the Star Wars Black Series Force FX lightsaber. Yes, that's a very, very long title. And let's just get into it. First off, the box is like the other box. All the new boxes now are all angular shaped, which is kind of cool. Also makes it harder to open up. And they have nice graphics all along the box. It looks nice in the picture, but will it look as nice when we unbox it? I always open these upside down for some reason. And backwards. These weirdly shaped boxes with all the different angles makes them hard to open. Just saying. Have the pretty standard fare box here. You probably don't need to see all the unboxing. So I'm just going to take everything out and be back in a split second. All right, here we are. These are the pieces that comes with it. You have the hilt. You have the replacement neck if you want to put a blade on it because it needs to be thicker than this very thin screen accurate neck is. And you got the metal stand, which is mostly metal with a little bit of plastic. I don't know why they couldn't have made this in metal. It's the same as all the other ones and it's nice. I wish it was something like this, where it was lower or it was just horizontal. That would have been nice. Maybe this is a nicer display, but this is what you get. So can't complain about that. At least it comes with a stand. And then the blade, which we'll take a look at later. So the hilt. What do I think about the hilt? I don't think it's that great. And why is that? First off, it does have a decent weight to it. But this piece, compared to this piece, is plastic. And I'm sure they were doing this to save some money, but this piece is going to be on most hilts for most of the time. It's going to be on display. And it just looks kind of bad. So why does it look bad? It looks bad because it's plastic. You can see that it's plastic, so this piece that should be copper or brass is clearly just painted. And this metal top that I think is from a Rolls-Royce jet engine, but don't quote me on that. This one is metal, but it has been powder coated, and powder coating is something that I don't think looks very good. It looked good on car rims, if you want that nice even paint, but on props like this, it does not look good. So, disappointed on that. Now, this grenade piece looks okay. They've taken some liberties when designing this, but I feel like they could have gotten much closer than they did. Let's put this back on. And then you have the weathering, which is okay, but it's not great. So it's just painted on little accents here for the weathered metal, the worn metal. The chrome plating is nice, and this is actually metal, which is a nice touch. This little knob button is not functional, and the circuit board. They could have done a much better job at the circuit board, honestly. This just looks like a piece of plastic that was molded and then painted to look like a circuit board. I don't know what this thing is, but that's also just a solid piece of something molded. And then you come to this guy, which is a faucet knob. And it came in hot and cold. And I see that they have made some creative choices, which is fine. Originally it says C or H for hot and cold. Here they gone with the kind of like Star Wars looking round thing with little holes. But what's nice is that it's metal. And I think perhaps the original faucet knobs were metal. There were some that came in plastic later on, I think. And a lot of other replicas have plastic ones. And then the battery department is here. And it's got a little connector here that goes in here. So make sure we put it the right way. All right. This is actually pretty hard to screw on. I don't know. It feels like the threads aren't going in correctly. And I don't know why. All right, there we go. Let's change out this guy, this thick, very silly looking thing, and blade. Oh. Wah, wah. Blade goes in, and then this guy goes on. Ooh. Ah. If you fight somebody and you're hitting, it'll make nice sounds. Whoop. And it's got a little button here. When you do it, it makes little noises. So if you're being shot at, you can catch all these little shots with this little button. What? I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be doing that exactly. There might be a bunch of sounds and hidden little features and quirks that I am not going to be covering on this one, but I'm sure there is somebody that will be covering that on another YouTube channel. So to summarize, this hilt, I would say not so good. Maybe 4 out of 10. And 4 because it has a more correct neck here. I know there was some old versions and they had a very thick neck because they wanted to accommodate the blade, but now you have a blade version and a static version. But there are so many problems with this one for the price, and that's what I want to talk about. So this one is $270 something before tax. So this is easy like $300. And for that kind of price, I think it should be more accurate. I don't know how much it cost them to make these things, but they could have had some more room to make something real, like something proper. They went with some creative artistic choices here, which is fine. And they're not going for like a screen accurate replica, but for the money that they're charging these days for these things, I say it's a no. For the price of these things, I feel like it's a downhill kind of thing where there are other people making props that look so much more realistic, real metal and attention to detail that makes it look like the actual screen used ones. So I think this is a pass from me. This might be the right fit for you, but only you can make that decision. And again, to the licensed thing, is a prop more valuable or more important to collect if it's a licensed replica or not? Or do you want to keep something that's more realistic, more accurate to the screen used one? If licensed is important to you, this might be it, but you can definitely get some better ones out there than this one. So just be aware that there are some issues with this and they are pretty apparent to the naked eye. So if you're already spending this kind of money, I would be looking at something else. But you might not get the flexibility of the sound effects and the blade and the battle modes that you can do with this guy. But as far as the Force FX Black Series hilts go, this is not there. It's not as good as I hoped it would be. So let's just put it on the stand to see what it looks like. It is very tall. Let's measure it since somebody asked about that before. It is, can you tell how tall it is? 13.5 inches tall, so pretty tall. If this is going on a shelf or in a bookcase or something, it's gonna be pretty big, which is why I prefer it would go like this, horizontal. But there are options out there for that. This is the one that came with, so it's basically free, maybe? So there you go, the brand new Star Wars Black Series Force FX Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber. Links below if you want to buy it. But I say maybe buy something else.